CEO Live Talks.
I am Dr. Swannie Jett, and I have a passion for public health for over 30 years. Now, I'm in a position to affect change, and these are the critical conversations about health in our community with the people who can help me make those changes. Good afternoon. Welcome to CEO Live Talks. I'm your host, Dr. Swannie Jett, and this is episode 2 with Mr. Bill Cohen. At what age was you in 2019? How old were you?
49.
Right. So
it's right before my 50th birthday.
You go ahead and start, because right now I think for prostate, they want you to start getting diagnosed, well, actually being screened at 45. I think they moved it back for African American men, but it was at 50. So it's something that you normally don't really think about.
Yeah, I was doing my annual exams, and then they were doing the blood testing, the PSA, and the PSA hadn't moved, but the doctor, nurse practitioner, she did miss it in July of that year. My PSA went to 6.5, and she missed it and didn't tell me, and then I had the the blood. I was like, I had to go back to the doctor, and that's when by that time it was up to 12.
And you being in the healthcare field and your wife being a nurse, I know you were flooded with information. Right?
Yeah.
So you started to do your research.
Well, they try to tell you don't go on the internet and look.
But you got in-house knowledge.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta research. You gotta do do your due diligence with that situation. But yeah, so. Yeah, right for my birthday, I took one last trip. Then I started treatment. What I was saying is they could have prevented it, because what happens with testosterone in your PSA, your testosterone is like pouring gasoline on a fire. So your testosterone, when you get older, operates against you.
Right.
So once I started treatment, the first phase was they gave me a shot to get all the testosterone out of my body. But I was like, you could have done this before, but it's like they couldn't give me the shot unless I was diagnosed.
Right.
You see my PSA going through the roof. One would control the press.
You know something else to take preventive measure. Yeah.
Yeah. You could use it as a preventive measure, but they all they did was say stay active. Right. They didn't try preventive measure. Right. So I thought it could have been prevented if they'd have done it in advance. But by the time January, my PSA had shot to 21. So
you go through the treatment. How long was your treatment?
Oh man, it was 10, 12 rounds of chemo, and then radiation after that.
Okay.
So, matters like that you try to keep private.
Right.
When you're going through it. So I was keeping the matter pretty private. At least I thought.
But people can see you.
Well, I mean, they couldn't see anything to the hair start falling out.
Right.
So I had to go ball out and see what was unique about it. It was what was it there? It's our 30-year anniversary as far as me being in fraternity.
Right.
So when April came around, April 25th went over 30 years. So, I had to shave the head anyway.
Right.
So I shaved my head so it made it look like I was being out.
Right.
Because it was the 30-year anniversary. Right. So I went with that story.
Right.
In order to keep my situation private.
Right.
But yeah, and then from there, I actually had a 25th wedding anniversary that year as well. So I had all these events. So in my mind, I was like, this ain't stopping me.
Right. I gotta go.
So yeah, I gotta get through it. So, as soon as they told me in January that I had it, I said, let's do what we gotta do. Went to go see the oncologist and everything, got everything lined up, and did that. But yeah, it's draining. And what happened? It became a unique situation while I was going through treatment, and my radiologist happened to be a fraternity brother.
Oh wow!
His name is Charles Matthews.
Oh wow! Yeah, I know Charles.
It's his son.
Okay.
His son. I guess they called him Chucky when he was younger. But anyway, he ended up being my radiologist,
Okay.
and so first urology, they got different offices. They got a research part. They got radiology, and they got your regular doctor's office. Mm-hmm. And what happened? I talked to him. He said, you too young to. You still got a lot of years ahead of you. Don't let
Right.
don't let this impede you. And normally, if you have prostate cancer and it's centralized, you have surgery, take it out, you're good to go from there.
Right.
Since mine had spread to my hip bone and to my tailbone, it didn't matter. You got rid of it. It's already spread.
It's already spread.
Yeah. So it's not centralized anymore.
Right.
But the knowledge that he gave me he said after suppressing all the testosterone out of the prostate for at least 2 years, the prostate should just be a scar.
Okay.
And it'll be just like you had surgery and had it taken out. He said, I think you should be able to come off the medicine after 2 years.
Okay.
But the other doctors, and his Dr. Rao with the first urology, he went against everything that he's supposed to be the main physician or recommendation that Norton send people to, but he was terrible. Mm-hmm. I mean, he actually told me, I told him I was going to change my eating habits, and he was like, you don't need, food doesn't do anything, that your stomach acid is going to eat it up, so it don't matter if you change your eating habit. I said, well, your research center said I should get rid of pork, beef, and dairy.
Right.
So then he went a blank. But I said, it's a division of first urology,
right.
and you telling me that. And
wow.
then I told him, I said, I told him what Dr. Matthews told me, and he's like, who? He's like, who? Dr. Matthews tell you that? But he was negative toward
Dr. Matthews.
Dr. Matthews. So I was like, man. So you gotta decipher all the information that you receive. Right. So then 2 years passed, and then I was like, I ain't taking the medicine no more.
Right.
But they try to get me on a pill that costs like $10,000 a month.
Wow.
But insurance covers it.
Wow.
So I was like, I'm not putting anything else in my body.
Right.
So they're like, well, you take your chances. If you come off the medicine, it spread, then you're gonna mess up your lifeline or whatever. Right. So I took my chances. At that time, my PSA was 0.01.
Right.
So it was all the way down.
Down.
Yeah. So, and they said if you run to a situation where it starts doubling, then we got to reevaluate.
Right.
So it did double one time, but then there's a special machine that came out at the time. Baptist East was the only one had it, so had to go do that. It did a full body type scan, mm-hmm. and it showed everything was fine. Nothing spread, nothing came back.
Okay.
So every 3 months now, I visit with my oncologist, and we do the PSA and see where it is. As long as the PSA stays down, if it ever doubles or go up, then we do that full body scan again.
Okay.
To see if there's anything there.
So as you was going through this, I know at some point you started to lose weight.
Well, you lost muscle. I mean, believe it or not, when I went through, I had the chemo. Man, it's like my teeth were loose in my mouth.
Right.
I mean the enamel. I mean it was like my teeth were rattling.
Wow.
And that's the other part of it too. The oncologist and urologist, they were talking, and he was asking if he should give me a calcium pill, but right. he never gave it. He never gave it to me. So I was like, I needed right. that calcium. Instead right. of asking him, just give it to me. Yeah. Wow. So to build, because the bone, from the chemo, the bones get fragile.
Right.
So shoulders, I lost more muscle than anything.
Okay.
Body changed.
Right.
quite a bit from there. So
Was it ever a time that you thought you wasn't gonna make it?
no, I was
You was
in it.
resolute.
Yeah,
You was resolute.
I was fighting all the way through.
Yeah, so that's the important.
I ain't have no doubts.
Right.
I was out there walking, exercising. I knew how to be active then.
Right.
So I didn't know what stay active was
Right.
then, but I know
You
what
understood.
be active is now. So it's been over 5 years. It's been maybe 6 years now
Yeah.
since I was diagnosed. But COVID hit, and the other unique thing too about for those who want to know, as far as the chemo, man, I used to have to carry I still was working the whole time, visiting clients and stuff, dressed up. Man, I had to carry a rag like I was a preacher sweating in the pulpit.
Wow.
My name is JT Douglas, and I am the Director of Development and Marketing here at Park Duval. I'm in charge of all of the fundraising efforts to help us do some of the great work we do here at Park Duval. The people that come to Park Duval, they're here for a reason. They're here to see us. They're coming to the health center because they don't feel good. And I think it's great work that our physicians and providers do for those patients by helping them.
Hello, I'm Dr. Swannie Jett. Please make sure you visit one of our 5 locations, not only in Louisville, but outside of Louisville and surrounding areas. Thank you. I think an important thing for people to know, if you get diagnosed with cancer, is to stay active, but also, remain positive.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
the thing
you
about
can go and be depressed.
Oh yeah.
with a
That's the first thing
diagnosis.
set in depression. So when they said active, they should have told me you need to exercise and
Right.
define active.
Right.
Because
right.
if you tell me be active and I'm mentally unstable right now, I mean,
Well, I think sometimes in medicine, we give you the cliche answer, right?
Right.
We give you what the script is. We don't
Right.
really give you the detail.
Yeah, because like, what does active mean?
Right. I see that a lot. Sometimes I ask my doctor, and it pays to be knowledgeable, and every patient should have a patient advocate to really get in there and advocate for them, but ask the questions. Because a lot of people go to the doctor, they don't ask the
Right
questions,
questions,
or the right questions, right? Then they leave, don't have the information,
Right.
right? Because I always say every doctor wasn't an A student.
Right. They did some things.
They got through, but
Yeah.
they might not have been the right student. The A student, they did the assessments,
Right.
right? So you go through this ordeal, and I'm sure it was a life-changing moment. So as you're going through it, how has your life changed, and what were your thoughts as you were going through it? Because you was remaining positive, but you being an entrepreneur in spirit, you had a whole lot of other ideas as well.
Yeah. So COVID hit, and actually right before COVID hit in 2018, I did my first bike ride. I bought a bike, and I did my first bike ride was Bike to Beat Cancer, and it's funny. So bike. Well, I guess it ain't funny, but anyway, it did my first ride with Bikes Beat Cancer. And I was with fraternity brother Lester Sanders.
Right.
I told him a story, but anyway, so we were riding along, and what Bike to Beat Cancer does, they post statistics along the way. It's like a silent mile that you go,
Okay.
and it says 1 out of 2 men will have cancer.
Right.
I was like, well, he older than me. So
It'll be him.
yeah. So I was like, it'll be him. So between me and him, I was like, it got to be him. He older than me. So anyway, but that was my first bike ride. So I never thought it would happen to me at the age that I was. So anyway, so after diagnosis, after I went through all the treatment, and so COVID hit. So everybody had to isolate. So it's when I started riding the bike even more. A lot of people started riding. So we ended up having a all black group ride, which is a 502 cycling. We had a group called 502, and we started cycling. And so from there, for me to help recovery and get my health back,
Right.
so cycling became my vice to do that.
Right.
So, and from there, I did my first. My wife's birthday came, so we had that deal. We're gonna do 50-mile ride. Bike to Beat Cancer came back around, so we did a 50-mile ride for her birthday.
Okay.
That's what we did. Then later that year, a couple months later, we did it. It was six. Started out with 6 of us,
Okay.
and 6 of us. Some of the people I was riding with. I put that actually, Yvonne Austin. She got a brand new bike, so she said we should do a century. We should do 100 miles. So she put it out there. Then I started riding. We did the 50 miles, and I started training. I was riding like 4 or 5 times a week, and so it's like, yeah, I can do it. So I contacted her. I was like, yeah, I'll ride with you.
Wow.
We'll do 100 miles. So then I put it out there, and we ended up having 6 people that I called some other fraternity brothers, Richard McKnight, Bill Lee, and a few other people to ride with. And so.
And Lester Sanders.
No, Lester didn't ride that time.
Okay.
But anyway, he was there to cheer us on.
Okay.
But anyway, I called him, and then when they said, yeah, I was surprised at first. I said, okay, well, we're gonna do it. But like anything, she put the idea out there, but it became my mission.
Right.
So anyway, that was the first year we did it, and then every year we started doing 100 miles. We went from 6, went to 12, went to about 20 people, and then and actually when I was riding, they still didn't know that I had prostate cancer.
Okay.
They never knew. And until I guess I came the poster board for Bike to Beat Cancer. My wife works at Norton, so Lenny Myers asked me if I wanted to tell my story or something like that. So all the cards you got in the mail had my picture on it, with Bike to Beat Cancer on it. So that was my coming out party right there. Right. And from there, we developed our organization called Bike to Win. And so it's an annual event that happens in September. September is prostate cancer awareness. Mm-hmm. So it's significant that we have it in there. And we drove quite a crowd. Last couple of years we grew from like I said, we started with 6, and then it went to 12, then it went to 25, then we went to 45, then we went to like 65. So it kept growing from there. And what we aiming to do this year with the organization is to take it another step. Is we want to have the opportunity for those that have rang the bell that they finished their treatment with cancer, give them the opportunity to reclaim their health through cycling. Mm-hmm. So I'm partnering with Middle Uptown Cycling, near on Bardstown Road. Mm-hmm. She agreed to donate a few bikes from there. So I'm working with Norton Healthcare to see if there's a situation where I can actually either get the information, have them contact me, those have finished their treatment, and if it's something we meet with them once a week or bi-weekly, a month, and meet down probably on the Big 4 bridge, as far as take them on the path to start them out, teach them all the road signals they need to do, and help them reclaim their health from there.
So what is the mission of Bike to Win?
The mission of the Bike to Win is help you to reclaim your health, and like I said, I'm expanding that mission. At first, it was it's majority African American, as far as reclaiming their health, because the statistics as far as prostate cancer is like 1 in 4 African Americans will get prostate cancer. 1 in 12 would die from it. But the national statistic is 1 in 8, all all males will get prostate cancer. So we started out as far as just focusing on our community, as far
Right.
as a black community,
Right.
and the mission was, to bring awareness and the importance of early detection.
Right.
So you go see the doctor.
Right.
And most of the time when we do our rides, we ride through we have a route every Sunday that we ride through the West End, and it's like a community ride, and they
Right.
see us out there riding. The kids are waving at us, the parents, everybody cheering us on. It's a regular ride,
Right. Right.
but it's it's nice to see a community. So we're trying to get more people involved as far as in cycling and growing it from there. But I mean, it's, like I said, it's 1 in 8. So we expanding and opening up to where it's for everybody, because
Right.
prostate cancer isn't just for the black community. It's anybody.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Park Duval. My name is Desmond Pritchard. I'm your Chief HR Officer here at Park Duval. I'm located normally 9 times out of 10 at the Wilson location. I'm beyond honored to support our community, to work with our community. There's a lot ahead of us. We have a lot we're ready to do, we're willing to do, and we can't wait to have you on board, to have you doing it with us.
Tune in to CEO Live Talks with Dr. Swannie Jett every Saturday at noon on Wave 3. In this thought-provoking series, we bring you conversations with influential leaders, visionaries, and changemakers who are making a difference in their communities and beyond. Don't miss an episode. Mark your calendar for Saturdays at noon on Wave 3 to watch CEO Live Talks with Dr. Swannie Jett. Together, we can shape a brighter, healthier future for all. One thing you're doing education, as well as
Correct.
my organization, but the other part is it's not just for people who had prostate, it's for people who might be diagnosed later on, they don't know.
Right.
So that education and awareness needs to be out doing a bike ride.
Right, to make sure that they get those doctor's visits, those
They get
annual
the screenings.
checkup, and so they got their PSA. And through my mission and that, it had a lot of fraternity brothers and other people to reach out to me once they get the diagnosis,
Right.
or if they see if their PSA going out, ask me questions, because it's going to be a hard decision that you're going to have to make. You're either going to go with the doctor's recommendation, or you're going to go at it at your own and make a decision, see
Right.
what you want to do with your own health.
Right.
So you got to be
You got to have the education, you got to have the knowledge about it in order to make the proper
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much saved me, because when Dr. Matthews, fraternity brother, he told me that situation, Dr. Rao, the research center, all of them went against his belief.
Right.
But
But he had the research background.
Yeah,
And
I
it
mean,
makes a difference.
he's urologist. He's seen it in the past,
Right.
which they should have seen it in the past too.
Right.
But I don't know. He's a black doctor.
Right. Which probably made a difference.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So
He probably saw
I trusted
more
him, and
deal with that.
they didn't trust his recommendations,
Right.
but I trusted his recommendation.
Right. Right.
Because man, it's when you take those shots and take all your testosterone out of your body, I mean you have no energy.
Right.
You just want to sleep all day.
Right.
So to get up and walk, start out walking like 4 miles every day, especially during COVID. So took everything. So.
Right. Right. You drain. So if people want to, I'm going to ask a hypothetical question. In order for your organization to grow and be successful, how much money do you need? Because you have a nonprofit.
Yeah, it's a nonprofit. Like I said, we just started out in the vision of it as actually to actually get a van and get the bikes. So I have the bikes in house in order to help those cancer patients. Right now, like I said, I'm partnering with the Middle of Town Cycling. They're willing to donate a few bikes up to about 90 days in order to help.
Okay.
But the real vision to spread the word, because bikes aren't cheap.
No, they're not.
And if you've been through chemo and radiation and everything, sometimes you can't go back to work,
Right.
or long-term disability, you don't have the income income
Right.
to do it. So in order to get back on your feet, our organization is looking to pivot to help those after they ring the bell in order to get their health back so they can go back to work and they can live a regular life. So with that being said, we probably, for the van and the bikes, our goal probably need to be at least $100,000
Okay.
to hit
Hit the mark.
to where we need to be as far as helping the community the way we want to.
I think that's a good ask for Norton's foundation.
Yeah.
I think that's a great ask.
Yeah, Lenny Meyer, she's been a saint as far as helping me getting it started. So
All right. So where can people find more information about Bike to Win?
we're on Instagram and also Facebook page. So you can go to either one. You can see the pictures of the past events. And the great thing about it is, we created a cycling community, a cycling family. So at the event, we have different levels of cycling, where it's 15 miles, 35 miles, 65 miles, or even a century. So whatever your fitness is, you can come there and ride with us. And it's a family event. We have a fish fry in a community after it, and it's a great event.
Okay. And when do you have a calendar of events already planned for this year?
Well, that's the only event we have right now. Is just it's the last week in September. It's
Okay.
the actual cycling event.
Okay.
We do through Major Taylor, our group. We have a Major Taylor cycling group here in town too. So we travel to different events and ride with different cities. Different Major Taylors. The national Major Taylor event is out in LA this year. So looking to travel that. Then you got the One Love, which has over 1,800 cyclists, which is down in Atlanta. It's the weekend of Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
So we got different events that we travel there, but right now I'm just trying to get move to the next level with the organization, have conversations with Norton's and other cancer institute in order to see if there's a need and they want to sponsor that mission.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show to tell your story.
Well, thanks for having
me. I think it was very educational to walk men through what that looks like, especially a very difficult time.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of yours, and I sponsor as well.
Right.
Because Park DeVoe, we do prostate screening, but it's essential for people to understand what they're getting into, but also become educated. So I want to thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
And that concludes our show for today. Tune in, go to Bike to Win website, get all the information, how to get involved, how to donate. Thank you.